That's right. I dream of comics. Happy Saturday morning, everybody. Great to have you with us once again. As you can see, I am flying solo today. Shannon is still with his family, and we send our continued prayers and good thoughts to him and his family in this time of trouble, and wish them the best for a quick healing. So we also have want to send out some prayers and good thoughts for Maranya. Maranya is awaiting some surgery. She sent a little note out and let me know. And so we want to send prayers and good well wishes to her. I don't know how much she wants out, but hopefully they will get the surgery done for her, and she will be on her way to speedy recovery. So please keep both Shannon and Lady Maranya in your thoughts and prayers, if you would. So thank you so much. And again, thank you guys for spending your Saturday here. Appreciate it. You know, you guys always show up every week, rain or shine. And we appreciate it more than you guys will ever know, because you guys could be doing anything else you want to do on your Saturday morning, and you usually hang out here listening to a couple of old farts show some old comics, and we greatly appreciate it. So, all right. Well, I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to bring the Peanut Gallery right into this shindig right off the bat. Here we go.
Comics, you bring the fun. Saturday morning, time to cheer. Man, we're glad you're here. North, south, east, and west, Peanut Gallery, you're the best. All our friends, both far and near, man, we're glad you're here.
And I couldn't have said it any better myself. We are glad you are here. We're going to start off, as we always do, with Anthony Perdue and his comic memory of the day. So here we go.
Anthony Perdue is here again. Hooray! With another great story ready to begin. Oh yeah! He'll take us back to when he was a kid and how comics were involved in things he did. So Anthony, please share another memory. We love to hear your tales of long ago and live our childhoods over through your story with comic books from the past that we all know. We love
That's right. Anthony Perdue is here once again to share one of his comic book memories with us. So let's see what he has to say. He says, "Good morning, Peanut Peers. It was a late summer afternoon in 1971 when my siblings and I met a time traveler." Ooh, all right. You've already got me, got my curiosity piqued. Time traveler. Yeah. He says, "We were outside in our front yard playing. We noticed that the neighborhood was quiet. We seemed to be the only ones outside. A man appeared out of nowhere, half a block away from our house." Uh-oh. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. Yeah, the danger violins. And Anthony says he was wearing old-fashioned styled clothing and carrying a large bag with a handle. When he saw us, he frantically waved to us as he approached our house, approached our front wire fence. He was urging us to hurry and leave our house before the fire reached us. He kept pointing behind him, saying that the fire was getting closer. The mystery grows. Our mom was in the kitchen making dinner when she looked out the window and saw the man talking to us. She called us to the front door. My siblings went, but I stayed to continue talking to the man. Oh, brave, Anthony. He says, he told me he was heading out to find his sister and leave the city before the fire destroyed everything. I told him we would follow him once our dad got home. The mystery deepens. He pointed to where he was going, then he started walking away. My siblings and I watched as he got halfway up the street before he disappeared. We later realized that he was escaping the Chicago fire of 1890s. Oh, wow. And the bag he was carrying was a carpet bag. Oh, yeah. And we hoped he had found his sister and had both survived in their time. Oh, wow. That's wild, Anthony. Holy cow. That is wild. Oh, I've heard all kinds of stories about people who fall into what they call a time slip and stuff like that, and they appear in a different time and stuff like that, and then somehow most of them anyway somehow get back. So that is really wild, unbelievable. He says it was a late summer afternoon in 1971 when my siblings and me met a time traveler. Yes. Teddy says hi to all his friends and we'll catch the replay. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much, Anthony. That's a great story. Wow. I'd love to hear more about that. That is pretty cool, man. Awesome. So thank you very much, Anthony. Appreciate that as we do your stories every week. Thank you so much. All right. And up next, we got Easy. He left a message here for us. He says, good morning, everyone. I come to you with hat in hand. No song this week, he says, but you can bet your boots I'll have one ready for next week. I'm sure you will. Thank you so much, Easy Reader, Easy Comic Reader, Mike, for all you do every week. I appreciate it. You writing songs every week. So, yeah, you deserve a week off, man. Take it and hope you enjoy the time. So thank you again for all you do. And now, normally, we would have Maranya. But unfortunately, like I said, Maranya is in a hospital currently awaiting surgery. So hopefully that will take place today. She said in her note, either today or tomorrow morning, and hopefully everything goes well. So we hope to have her back soon, if not next week, as soon as she feels up to joining us once again. So everybody, again, send prayers and good thoughts to Lady Maranya and to Shannon, our brother in comics. So. All righty. So let's see what else. Who else is hanging out here this morning? Let's go. We got I Am One of Us. He says, how you doing, Rod? He said, hi, Rod. Everyone. No song, ECR. He's sad. Yeah, well, even Mike needs a break now and again. His prolific musical writing skills. We appreciate everything he does each week for us. So, cool beans. Great to have you with us, I Am One of Us. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us again. And Quentin Collins is here. How you doing, Quentin? Great to have you with us. Looks like he's waving. If my feeble eyes can make that emoji out. Great to have you with us, Quentin. Thank you. And Higgy Pop. There you go, Higgy. He says, "Hot Rod, the Mad Marauder." How you doing, Higgy Pop? How you doing? Great to have you with us once again. As always, if you haven't had a chance to check out Higgy's channel, man, you don't know what you're missing because it is a barrel of laughs. Always exciting. So definitely check him out. Cool beans. He also says, hello to all the peanuts in the peanut gallery. Cool beans. Thank you so much. And Werewolf by Lunchtime is with us once again. How you doing, Werewolf? Nanu Shazmat, he says. Didn't he do the thing too like that, like Spock used to? Nanu Shazmat. I remember Mork and Mindy. Absolutely. Great to have you with us, Werewolf. Higgy says prayers for Lady Maranya. Thank you so much, Higgy. I know she'll appreciate that, and we do here at CBM too. So thank you so much. And Werewolf says all the best to Shannon and Maranya. Cool beans. Thank you very much, Werewolf. I know we all appreciate it, and they do as well. So thank you. And the professor is here once again. How you doing? It's not a CBM show without the professor in the peanut gallery. Eric, he says, I was in the middle of letting folks know about Maranya, but since you just did, I'll pivot to hello. Well, thank you. And Eric, if you have any other information to add, please feel free to do it, brother. Because I just read just a little blip this morning from Instagram that she put up. So I was not aware of it until this morning. So if you know anything else you can share with us, please do. And we will continue to say prayers and hope for the best. So, and Triple C is with us. How you doing, Rob? He says, good morning, and good morning to you, Rob. Hope you're doing well. Still making those great videos. If you haven't seen his channel lately, you got to watch his everyday videos. He's been doing his whole comic collection, and he collects them by year, which I am fascinated by. And he does it by year. So he'll pull out a box. Today we're going to look at 1963, and it's just full of a different variety of comics. So you got to check him out. And also check out his, what is it, Saturday nights, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. Saturday night auctions, $3 auctions. And you can get some great books, great prices. I'm not sure on the shipping. Is it still free shipping after a certain amount, Rob? Let us know, man. But definitely check out Triple C. Piggy Pop says, great story, Anthony. I once time traveled when I went to a Grateful Dead concert. I don't think you're alone from what I've heard of Grateful Dead concerts. I don't think you're alone, Higgy. Oh, that's awesome. And Scotty Z70, how you doing, Scotty? Straight off the beach. How you doing this morning? He says, I'm a time traveler. I have a time machine. But it's not unusual since we are all traveling through time, checking our clocks. There you go. Bringing us back to Earth. Scotty says, it's raining and pouring here. Why ain't you all snoring? Well, believe me, I was snoring. So I'm just a little under the weather this morning, but we're going to make our way through because you guys all perk me up every Saturday, man. So I don't care how down I might feel or not quite, like I said, under the weather. When I get on here with you guys and Shannon, you guys all just pick me right up, man. I just get jazzed. So it's always fun to hang out with you and chat with you and get your opinion on things. What's going on, or what, even if it's just showing the comics and having you tell me what you think about them, what's your favorite comics, and all that stuff. You guys are the best, man. You guys are the best. Scotty also says, by year, I collect my comics by cover price. Well, there you go. Nothing wrong with that, Scotty. Everybody's got to do it their own way. So nothing wrong with that. And we got Henry Jeremick. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Henry. If I'm not, please let me know. Henry Jeremick. So he says, I just got here. Whatever Maranya, man, I can't talk. Whatever Maranya is going through, I hope she feels better soon. Thank you so much, Henry. I know she'll appreciate that. So thank you very much. And great to have you with us. Triple C says, yes, free shipping with at least 10 comics. Excuse me. But you can build your stack over multiple shows. There you go. Cool beans. Thank you, Rob. And believe me, you can really get some really great deals, some great comics, man. I told this story before. I think I've told it to Rob. I'll tell it again real quick. Everybody knows about my Go-Go Checks quest, right? Well, there's only The ones I need now are a couple of the high-priced Batman ones. Never going to own them. I'm okay with that. I'll get facsimiles. I can live with that. I still need a bunch of the romance comics, and to pick them up here and there when I come across them, and they're affordable and they're in decent enough shape. Okay, but there was one book that I needed in the Strange Adventures series. I believe it was 187. It's the backup. I think the backup feature. I don't know. I shouldn't say. I don't know if it's the backup feature or not. But anyway, it's the first appearance of the Enchantress, who is like the narrator for the story. Okay, and she appeared in that Suicide movie. Well, that book went from being $1, a 25-cent or dollar bin book, to being over $100 book. And I tuned into Rob's channel one day after the show, right? I was about 20 minutes late or so, because I got to shut down here and get up there and all that stuff. Well, I got up there and I kind of went back through to real quick, skimming through to see what I missed. That book sold for $2. It was part of when he was doing his $2 sales. That book, somebody got that book for $2. Now, I mean, you can't. That's just one. That's just one instance I can point to. So if you get a chance, man, check them out. Check them out. Triple C. All right. Let's see here. Who else is in here? We got Werewolf. He's saying it's 10:15 on a Saturday night. Where am I? Where I am now? That's for time. Now that's for time traveling. There you go. I know it's so it's weird, right? You're almost totally opposite of us. 12-hour difference. Wow. Now, are you in Australia? Am I remembering that correctly, Werewolf? Are you in Australia? Because if you are, the WWE is over there in Australia today, I believe, in Perth. So, and Scotty says, well, it's 66 degrees here, so I just want to bundle up and sleep. So, yeah, well, that's pretty much, Scotty. That's how I get as well in the wintertime. As a result of having no thyroid, that regulates your body temperature and helps keep you warm and stuff like that. Well, it doesn't work. So I get cold if it's below like 80, 85. If it gets below there, to me it feels like it's 30 degrees. That's how bad I am. So yeah, and I just want to hibernate. I just want to bundle up and hibernate. So I got you. He also says, you're in the future. Did the rapture happen yet, Werewolf, by lunchtime? He's asking. He says, only the Blondie song, Scotty. There you go. Scotty says, did she have a man from Mars who ate your car? Oh my gosh. And he says, wait, no, that's my stomach rumbling. Werewolf also says, I don't drive, Scotty. So almost certainly, laughing out loud, Scotty says, don't drive. You drive Matilda crazy. Drive Matilda crazy. And Werewolf says, that is true, Scotty. Werewolf says, yes, I'm in Perth. Oh, cool. But I have no interest in the fighting. Okay. Fair enough. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I just thought that's funny. I thought you had mentioned that before, but I was never certain because there's a couple other people that I've talked with, and they're in Australia and whatnot. And so I can never remember Australia versus England. You know what I mean? I know they're the two different geography locations, but I can never remember the time thing. I think England, UK is like 5 hours behind us. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to drive myself crazy. Okay, cool beans. Thank you for that, Werewolf. Appreciate that. And he says, I would rather watch Rod on a Saturday. Oh, well, I don't know how long you'd want to do that. I'm sure you probably, by the end of the show on Saturday mornings or Saturday nights, you're probably tired of seeing my face. So, but I appreciate that, Werewolf. Scotty says, my pen pal lived in Queensland back when I wrote him in the 80s. Werewolf by lunchtime. Do you know him? Well, what are the chances, right? What are the chances? Werewolf says, yes, we were best friends. We are best friends, Scotty. I was speaking to him on the phone just before the show started. So, oh, man. Scotty says, I know France is 5 hours ahead of me on the east coast of USA. I used to call my French pen pal, and I don't think France moved since the 80s. Well, there you go. All righty. Okay. Well, we got... I think we are caught up here already with the peanut gallery. Wait, we got Jason Nutter. He's sneaking in here. How you doing, Jason? Good morning to you, my friend. He says, good morning all at work, but hope everyone is well. Wally West is still the best Flash. There you go. All right. All right, Scotty, thank you so much, because I was just getting ready to say it's time for the line. Yes, I will need a liner today. So if you volunteer, sure, that is fine. I would appreciate it, because I do tend to get lost in the comments. So thank you. All right, so let's start right off here. Let's see. I got all kinds of different. So I got a stack of odds and ends stuff. I got some Charlton. I got some DC over here. I got some Silver Age Marvel, which are as Higgy likes to say, thickies, square bounds, which I love. So what am I going to start with? Let's start with the Charltons. I like Charlton. All right. We're going to start off in the jungle. That's right. Jungle Tales of Tarzan. This is number 4. And this is the last issue of their run on this series. Jungle Tales of Tarzan. My understanding is they printed this without having the proper rights to Tarzan, and I believe they got in trouble for it. So it lasted 4 issues. Easy to collect, not very hard on the pocketbook or the wallet. So, but there you go. There's number 3. That number 4, and that finished my run on that. And now we got Conga's Revenge. Number 1. What is it? Someone stop that thing. Let me off this crazy thing. There we go. Conga's Revenge, number 1. And now we get into some of the ghost stories. We got The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, number 3. And here's The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, number 6. I'm going to move that light over a little because it's getting a little bit of a glare. How's that? That a little better? I think so. All righty. And here is Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, number 7. I was trying to see who the artist was on this cover, and it says Rock. I can't think of the first name. Was it Montesero or Serio or something like that? I could be all washed up. Here we go with The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, number 14. This one is unmistakably Jim Aparo, even if he didn't have his name down here. But you can't miss a Jim Aparo cover. Love Jim Aparo's artwork. This looked like, if they put the Phantom on here, it would look just like his Phantom work for Charlton. Great stuff. Here is The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, number 25. No grave can hold him. So what are you guys getting ready to do for Halloween? You guys You going to parties? Are you staying home and handing out candy to the kids? You going to any costume parties? Do they even still do those anymore? Here's number 25 of Too Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves, but this one is for modern comics. So this one here is the original, and this is a reprint by their Modern Comics imprint. So there you go. And then we got number 43 from the Bronze Age. This is a really cool cover. Just like that cover, man. Just trying to see. I don't know if it's that how do you say his name? Senyo Ho. I'm screwing it all up. All right, then we move on to a series called the Mysteries of Unexplored Worlds, and within that series, for a short time, they did a superhero, a semi kind of superhero type little subset in it, and it was the Son of Vulcan, and this is number 46. So here's his first appearance. I mean, and you can never just have enough of Son of Vulcan, right? Right. Okay. Oh yeah, and more. So I don't know why. I don't know why. And we got Mysteries of Unexplored Worlds. I think that's number 47. With King Midas. And again, you can never have too many. Come on, you gotta love your Son of Vulcan. And this is number. Oh man, I didn't write them on the back. Let me just see if I get put on the old spectacles here. Yeah, this is 48. I don't know if they really didn't do much. DC, I'm talking about. DC, when DC bought the rights to the Charlton superheroes, they really didn't do much with Son of Vulcan. I think he was in a mini series at one point, I think, but it didn't even seem like the same character to me. Here's number 49. And this one I can't even read the number on this one. I think this is probably 50, but all right, you know what? Let me open it up and find out. Yeah. Because I want to know. And look at all the gags and gifts and toys and stuff that you could pick up off the back. Oh man, newsprint. Oh, the Stingray, the Strangler. All right, let's see what this one is. Yes, this is number 50, 1966. So just looking through to see if there was any. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Charlton House ad. There we go. I don't know about you guys, but I was always a fan of house ads. DC, Marvel, Charlton. Always loved them house ads, man. Impulse buying. Because you'd see a cover on those in those house ads, and it's like, oh man, I want to know what's in that story. I want to know what that's about. Why is whatever's happening on the cover, why is that happening? So back in you go. There we go. So yes, that is number 50. So, and then we get into some motor wheels, some motor comics. We got Top Eliminator, formerly Teenage Hot Rodders. There's number 25, featuring Scott Hansen and the Rod Masters. And Ken King and the Hog Riders. Ken King hung around for a while, I think. Here is number 27 of Top Eliminator. And this is Unusual Tales number 47. This was on sale September 1st, 1964. Got a Dick Giordano cover. I believe this title went on at number 50. I believe it went on to be a Blue Beetle book for at least 4 issues. Here we go with War Wings, number 1. This book here was, and I have a copy of what I'm going to talk about in my computer. I have a copy. There was an article in, I think it was National Enquirer, many, many moons ago, like in the 80s, I want to say. Okay. And this guy had like the best comic book collection ever. And they were all sprawled out at his feet. And I saw and recognized a lot of them. And then I saw this one. This was one of the ones that I saw. And then I'm like, I had never seen one of those before anywhere at any of the comic shows I had gone to or anything like that. So I had to find one, and I did, and this has been in my collection ever since. So, but when I see this, that takes me right back to that article, and I was surprised to find that article online back just I don't know. Well, now it's probably been 5 or 6 years, because when I saw it, I'm like, oh man, that's that article. That was cool. Here we go with World of Wheels, number 27. Ken King is in this one too. Ken King learning the, what does that say? Nomenclature of cycling. And here is number 28. Look out, he's coming. Get your head down, Pete. And around this group out, we've got that marker, or is that just pencil shaded that way? Must be shaded that way. We got Kenny King again, World of Wheels number 30. Meet the Fall Guy. The Invaders have his number. Is that the Invaders from the TV show? How many of you remember the Invaders TV show? Man, I always wanted to stay up and watch it, but at the time it was on, we were too young. We could never stay up. It was on at like 10 o'clock, I believe, at night. And it was like, oh, I want to see that, but I can't. I didn't get to see it till like in the 80s. I bought, and I still have them, 10 or 12 VHS commercially sold tapes, the first 10 or 12 issues, 10 to 12 episodes of the Invaders. So I always liked that show. it was, if you go back and watch it now, yeah, it's kind of weak. But if they updated it, I think it could be a really cool series, But that's just me. So, all right, we're going to look for the line. Scotty said he was going to, there he goes. He provided the line for me. Thank you so much, Scotty. Appreciate it. And let's see. Scotty says, do you need a yes? Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Werewolf says, where's Jackson? That's right. We haven't seen Jackson yet. Where is Jackson? We're going to put his face on the side of the milk carton. We want to know. Hope everything's okay. So, and Scotty says, I don't know. He'd be good at it. I'm not good at cues. I just made a lucky guess. Well, you did all right there, Scotty. So, and if you don't feel up to doing it, just let me know, and I'll just throw a line down when I get to there. So it's all right. No problems. And Eric Breen said no one ever. And Scotty says, we never see good old stuff in my area. I did a live comic haul Thursday from the Super Deals, and they have the rarer stuff in the area, but it's still not terribly rare. That's hard. We've gone through periods, though, up here. And I'll travel a 50-mile radius, or I used to. I don't do it too much nowadays, but I used to. And there were a lot of, you find those little honey holes, as Howler Mouse likes to call them, Tim calls them. And, you find them and you go visit them like once a month or every 2 weeks or something like that. But we've gone through phases up here where it's been awful dry as far as what I was looking for, which was Silver Age, early Bronze Age at that time, and stuff. So I can understand that. And that's hard, man. That's hard. So just gotta see it through. And Higgy Pop says the granddaughter Hawk Baby is coming down for Halloween. Gonna be a hoot, he says. Cool. All right. There you go. Is she dressing up? She gonna make the baby hawk mask and everything? Because I know you got that cool hawk mask that you made. So try and move this thing so it's not always hidden behind there we go. Not always hidden behind the things like a bandit. Oh, no. Like the guy that used to be on Home Improvement, the guys who just stand behind the fence all the time. So, all right. Higgy also says, oh, man, I'm always on the hunt for Son of Vulcan. Great stuff, bro. Yeah, you gotta have Son of Vulcan in your collection, right? Come on. Scotty says, Son of Vulcan, he doesn't look like Spock. No, he doesn't. He looks like he's a bit older from the gear he's wearing and stuff. He says, yes, Son of Vulcan, DC 2005 to 2006, 6-issue limited series. I have number 1 of that. I have to look it up in the inventory list to see. I know I've got some of them. I don't know as I have all of them. I might have all of them, though, because it was such a unique character, which is right up my alley. I like those oddball characters. So I might have them. I'll have to look. He also says, I always loved the video game ads of the 80s. There you go. Yes, sir. Eric Breen says, Rod governs. That's right. Not masters. Rod governs. Keeping the traditions alive, Eric. Scotty says, Unusual Tales did much better than the previous title they had, which was Usual Tales. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. Yes, you are right, Scotty. And Triple P, how you doing, Andrew? Good to have you with us, man. He says, greetings and salutations, everyone. And greetings to you, sir. Hope your Saturday's going well. We're all just hanging out once again. Scotty says, what's up, Triple P? Eric says, the Blue Beetle became Ghostly Tales with issue number 54 or 55. So it went from Unusual Tales to the Blue Beetle and then over to Ghostly Tales then, right? that makes sense. And I think it would be like 55. That makes sense. Man, Charlton, if you ever tried to follow the lineage of those, a lot of those early Silver Age titles from, from Charlton's or even Golden Age, they just were crazy. It was just, all right, well, we'll just throw another title on there, but keep the numbering, you know. So, and it'll go through 3, 4, 5 iterations of different series, but they'll keep the numbering on it. That fascinates me to no end. Thank you, Eric, for that. That's why we call him the professor. Yes, sir. Thank you. Triple P says good morning to Scotty. Scotty says, I know Invaders, the TV series. I've watched a few recently. Yeah, I for a while there, I was recording them off of MeTV, but I don't think they're showing them anymore. But I have, like I said, commercially sold VHS tapes with the real cheap cover that slides over them and stuff. So, but I haven't played them in a long time. But I do love that. All those great series from them. There was, The Invaders. There was Land of the Giants, Lost in Space, which was a mainstay for me every day. I had to watch Lost in Space. You guys all know my affection for the B9 robot. So I mean, I just loved that. I used to go outside, and we lived in my parents still live on a large area of land that my grandfather owned, and there's a big forest there and everything like that. But there were certain areas, and like at one point there was a grove of 4 or 5 pine trees. They were kind of low to the ground. The branches were kind of low to the ground. So I went out there one time, and I took all this rope. I mean, you could find everything you wanted out in the woods. There was rope, there was wires, there was all kinds of stuff we used to dig up and find out there as kids. Bottles, people, antique bottles, medicine bottles. We could have found millions of those, and stuff like that. Because I don't know what was out there prior to when my grandfather owned it, but man, whatever it had to be like home. There was all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so I would take stuff and I would take the rope and I'd hang like this motor from a car and stuff like that. Hang it, pull it up into the tree, and that would be like the main motor for like the Enterprise or for the Jupiter 2 and stuff like that. I'd have a lawn chair out there, and then I'd build up like crates around me and have like things with pretend buttons on them. Oh, we're going into warp 5, all that kind of stuff. Man, it was great to be a kid and use your imagination like that. Oh man, it was fun. So Triple P says, I love all the old Vulcan stuff. There you go. Right on. Scotty says, but how do I know where to put the line next time? You can put the line in there right now. And then when I get down to it, it'll be time to show some more comics. Ideally, I'd like to get to a point where it's like every 15 minutes we go to showing comics. And that's my goal. I think I'd like to try and get to that point, because I know it's great to chat with everybody, but I know, a lot of people, hey, it takes you 45 minutes to show a book, and believe me, I've heard those I won't call them complaints, but criticism or whatever, constructive criticism, and I understand. So that's what I'd like to try and do. So maybe when Maranya comes back, we can work out a cool schedule where we can do that. That would be really neat. So, and Triple P says, Charlton Comics. Yeah, love Charlton, man. And Werewolf by Lunchtime says, use the Force, Scotty. He also says, I don't mean a headlock. There you go. Headlock, suplex. There you go. Scotty says Wilson was the guy behind the fence on home improvement. There you go. Thank you for that. I would not have remembered that name. I just know him as the guy behind the fence. And Eric Breen, the professor, he says, by the way, R.I.P. Mike Green. Oh, no. Really? Man, how? What? You got to tell me more, Eric, because he was young. He was young. Shoot, I'm older than Mike Greenwell. Holy cow. Forgot how good. Yeah, he was. You're right. He has been, he's, when you think of, all-star Sox, you don't naturally go to a Mike Greenwell, but you're right. He was, for a number of years, he was one of their solid players there. Absolutely. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Oh, that's a bummer. Because he's like one of the last group that I really remember. I could identify all of them and their batting averages and all that stuff. Back in those days. Man, that's a bummer. Thank you for the information, though, because I'll try and maybe research it later. But I just can't believe he's dead, because he was younger than me. So, Scotty says, I can relate to the title changes. I get so confused with Justice League International, Europe, America, 2 series of 90s comics that kept changing their names. Yep. You are absolutely correct, Scotty. They did indeed. Swapped around. They got a little confusing there for a while. Comics in general got confusing in the 90s because there was so many. Man, they had so many X-Men titles. They had so many Avengers titles. So I couldn't keep up with them, let alone try to buy all of them. You only got so much to work with on a budget, and so I couldn't afford them all. But yeah, you're right. They would get confusing. Triple P, he says, cancer sucks. R.I.P. Greenwell and Tim Wakefield. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Tim Wakefield. The knuckleballer. Oh, man. So Greenwell passed away because of cancer problems. Oh, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because when we lost my dad in February, it was due to cancer. So, and yeah, yours truly is in the battle himself. So, but that really saddens me. So, Eric Breen says the comic book realm is great for tracing the history of Charlton titles. Comic book realm. I'm not familiar with that. Is that a resource site on the internet, Eric? Or is that a book or something? The name changes, but keeping the numbering was done for mail rate purposes. Really? Now I'm see, my mind I'm just curious. How would mail rate purposes make a difference in whether you kept the numbering or not? Because it was still going to be a magazine. I see that boggles my mind. I want to know more. I want to know more. Because that just doesn't. I can't think it out. The name changes, but keeping the numbering was done for mailing rate purposes. I don't get it. I don't get it. You got me curious, Professor. You got me curious, Eric. Easy Comic Reader. Hey, Mike. He says, update from Crown Jewel. Kamala and the Great Kabuki just made a run-in our clearinghouse. Gary Hart just announced his return and put everyone on notice. Oh, great memories. Great memories, Mike. Great memories. Kamala, the Ugandan giant. I actually have somewhere I have a Kamala WWE action figure, one of those little plastic ones like this big. It was given to me by a friend of mine. Somewhere I have them, but yes, Kamala. I think he just passed away, didn't he? Not too long ago. Earlier this year, maybe? Or maybe he was really bad off health-wise, one or the other. The great Kabuki, man, with the mist. He'd spray the mist. They still use the mist in storylines today for professional wrestling. So, yeah, the great Kabuki, man. And Gary Hart. There you go. Gary Hart. He was not, you wouldn't picture him as a manager, but yeah, he had quite a stable too there in Texas. So, cool beans. Yes, sir. I love it. Scotty says, I have Lost in Space on DVD. Came with a digital code, so I watch it on Vudu or whatever that company is called that bought them. I have no idea what the company was. I have a couple seasons, I think, on DVD. The one that I really wanted to get, I got, and that was the episode where there's a negative. They travel into like the negative zone, or not the negative zone because that's Marvel IP, but they traveled into this negative area or whatever, and there was a negative of John Robinson. There was also a negative of the B9 robot, but that episode haunted me as a kid. That there was an opposite person of you who was evil, and stuff. And it was just a mind blowing concept to me as a kid at the time. So, but I had to have that episode because I remembered out of all of them. Well, I remember that and the Great Vegetable Rebellion. I remember that one. The talking carrot, you can't forget, and the one with the robot. There, crush, kill, destroy. Crush, kill, destroy. Those are the 3 episodes that I would remember. But that one about the negative world, that was so cool to me and so bizarre, such a heady concept for a kid. So, World Fine Lifetime says Europe was separate from League and International, Scotty, but I stopped collecting in the late 80s. There you go. Cool beans. Thank you for that, Werewolf. Appreciate that. Scotty says, I think JLE started as such, but switched to another title later. Yeah, I couldn't even keep track of them. So, Werewolf says, I remember buying issue 1 of JLE, but wasn't impressed. I was basically out after that, but I came back. Yeah. It had its moments. The whole the whole what they call the bwahaha era. I like my superhero stuff pretty straightforward, but I gotta admit I did enjoy that era. The whole Batman, Guy Gardner, One Punch. That was great. That was great. Scotty says, yeah, Justice League Europe became Justice League International at number 51. There you go. He says, okay, I'll start a timer on the next line. There you go. Thank you, Scotty. Eric Breen says, I think it was cancer. He was 62. Oh, so I thought he was much younger than me. He's only a year younger than me. Oh, man, that's what a bummer, man. What a bummer. Unfortunately, nowadays, you hear more, at least in my circles, I guess, you hear more about people, having cancer or Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, dementia. You hear so many stories, and I've got, both friends and relatives that have dealt with all those various things. And it just seems like all of a sudden, I guess it comes to that point. You've heard the old saying where you start going to more funerals than you do weddings, and that's I feel I've definitely crossed over that line, and it's sad. It really is. It's a bit of a bummer. It's somber, makes you very melancholy. So at least I get very melancholy, very nostalgic, which is why I enjoy what I enjoy here, because it does harken back to a time where we didn't have any worries. The biggest worry for me in the morning as a kid was, what am I going to play with first? Is it going to be the Hot Wheels out in the sand pile or the G.I. Joes out in the sand pile? Or am I going to go build a Lost in Space spaceship in a grove of pine trees out back? So, but yeah, that's sad. That's sad. And Werewolf by Lunchtime says, really? That is confusing. Yep. Says Scotty. Scotty says NJL became JLI and then JLA. It is weird. Can't keep up with it all. Werewolf by Lunchtime says, at least they didn't start from one every 12 issues. Yes. Scotty says, I was fine with the name change then, but now I can't keep them straight. What I hate now is that there are a dozen covers for each issue. If it weren't for CLZ, I'd be buying the same issue a lot. That's happened to me, Scotty. That's happened to me. I am not a variant cover guy, and I don't begrudge anybody who is. It's just I unless it's a cover by Neil Adams or a super cover done by maybe Alex Ross, Alex Ross, then I don't buy variant covers or anything like that. But I have in the past mistaken different covers as a different book, and I must have missed the latest issue. Okay, this has got to be the latest, so I'll take it. And then I get home and I'm like, wait, I read the story. And then it kills me because it's like, man, that's money I could have bought something else with. So, but I get you. Scotty also says, yeah, like Marvel does now. Well, yeah. And Werewolf says, Punisher must be on volume 13 by now, Scotty. And Scotty says, and X-Men is on volume 100, including red, yellow, blue, uncanny, not uncanny, semi-unusual. Oh, man. Yeah, I couldn't keep track of the Avengers and the X-Men. And what I wanted to say was, just give me one book. Just give me one book with the original X-Men and one book with the new X-Men from 75. And just let me have those two books. And then you can take all the other New Mutants or whatever you want to do, put them all in any other book you want, because I won't be looking at them. I just want the original 5 and the 1975 new group that came in. And I want to bring back Thunderbird, and I want Sunfire to be back in the group too. How do you like that? So, Triple P says they have 2 Punisher issues at the moment, the Red Band and also Max. See, I wouldn't even know what either one of those are. Red Band, what is that supposed to be? Signify it's more mature or for mature audiences? Andrew, I'm not familiar with that. Scotty says, is now a good time? It seems like 15 minutes. Yeah, go ahead and throw the line down there. I'll get to it here in a couple of minutes, and we'll show some more, and then go 15 minutes from that line. Werewolf says they will last okay, I'm not sure. The last 6 issues, Triple P, and then get the trade treatment. Okay. And Scotty says, so a broken mirror of Lost in Space, like on Star Trek? I'm not sure. I know on Star Trek they had the one where the 2 groups were fighting, and you didn't realize it till the end that they had half their faces painted black and the other was white, but you didn't notice that one of them had the black on the right, and the other one had the black on the left. At least I didn't notice it. So I imagine it's probably something like that, maybe. I just remember as a kid, it was just a very haunting episode. And it was just like, man, that was, I remember drawing the negative man so many times in my little, flip sketch pad. Triple P says it's a good time for it, Scotty. There we go. Everybody tired of listening to me yak. He says Scotty, crush, kill, destroy. That's on. Yeah, that was he looked like a superhero. Had a gold helmet, had a big gold plate on his thing. It was like this thick, stood out. I can't remember what it said, but that's what he was gonna crush, kill, destroy. The Robinson. Scotty says, okay, thanks. And Henry says, Lost in Space, War of the Robots, B9 Robot versus Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet. Uh-oh. That's it. I was now I remember Robbie the Robot because I've seen Forbidden Planet, but I gotta just I as a kid and now, well, am I kidding? And now B9, man, for me he's the robot. He's the robot. Barry Allen's my Flash. B9's my robot. And Scotty says, if it weren't for funerals, my family would never see each other. I'm sorry to hear that, but I know very, very much of what you speak, unfortunately. So, Werewolf by Lunchtime says 2000 AD is on issue 2453, but it is weekly. It is weekly. Started in 77. I remember seeing those at comic conventions in the early 80s. They were kind of like a novelty thing that we didn't see many of those over here. And in fact, I think I had at least one issue of 2000 AD. I don't think I still have it. I think it got lost along the way. But yeah, very cool. Yeah. And Dredd still hasn't taken off his helmet. Yes. Nor should he. Doggone it. I really enjoyed the last Dredd movie that they made. The one with Sylvester Stallone, it was okay, but it's the same gripe I have with the Marvel movies. Look, I want to see in costume. I don't want to see Spider-Man without his mask on, unless he's in high school, attending a class. If he's out fighting bad guys and stuff, meeting with other superheroes, leave the freaking mask on. Doggone it. Okay, I'm done with my rant for that. He says, I mean, we haven't seen his face. Yep. That's good, though. I like the mystery. I like that mystery. Scotty says, yes, I'd love new stories based on old properties. Didn't Classic X-Men start doing that? I don't know, because I don't think I got Classic X-Men. I thought Classic X-Men was reprints. But they did, for a while, they did the Hidden Years, X-Men, the Hidden Years. That was cool. I really enjoyed that because they picked up right where in the first Silver Age series they ended. They had just ran into the Hulk in Las Vegas, and they did that. And they picked it up from like there and did some stories, supposedly stories that had never gotten told when they went, quote unquote, underground because they were mutants, So I really like that. And I'm not a big one for retconning stuff, but I thought that was a good way to do it because there was a long period of time where all we got were reprints of the X-Men. So yeah, stories could have happened in there as long as it didn't change the character, his powers, or stuff like that. It kept things canon. That was cool. I really thought they were gonna do more than that. I think it lasted like 12, 14 issues, I want to say. But that was really good. I got to admit, I did like that. And I wished Marvel would have continued that. Scotty says, the Broken Mirror was about how Lost in Space was in an opposite universe. Star Trek also did that several times. Excuse me. It could very well be. I can't remember the name of it. I cannot remember the name. There's very few episodes I can keep the name on. I can remember the plot and whatnot, but there's very little that I remember the title name, you know. Okay. Yeah. Had to wet the whistle. All right. Werewolf by Lunchtime says 3 or 4 pages at the end of X-Men Classic reprint, Scotty. There you go. Thank you for that, Werewolf. Scotty says, wait, I think Crush Kill Destroy was in 1999 Lost in Space movie. So if so, maybe it was an Easter egg. Oh, that would have been cool. So I've never seen the movie, the 1999 movie. There's nothing about it that makes me feel like I want to see it. Henry says, no, not comparing robots, B9 and Robbie. Lost in Space episode, War of the Robots, where they fought each other. I do not remember that one. Oh, man, now you got me curious, Henry. Now you got me curious. Oh, man, I'm going to have to see if it's on any of the seasons that I have. That would be cool. Thank you for bringing that up, Henry, because, yeah, I'll go back and try and find that. Absolutely. Cool beans. Thank you. I love it. Love it. You guys are the best. Scotty says, yes, the Hidden Years. Great idea. I think that's why I read every issue of X-Men Blue, seeing the OG team together, even though Beast and Robbie and Bobby were out of character. Yeah. I want the characters as they were in the 60s. That's what I want. That's what I want. But they don't just make comic books for this old fight right here, unfortunately. Because if they did, that book would be out there and it would be one of the top rated books because it would be selling out. Scotty says, wait, did we pause at the pause line? No, I didn't see a pause line yet. I had to get some PJS. My legs are getting cold. Pajamas. Okay. Maybe that's what pajamas are. I don't know. No lines appeared, Scotty. Scotty says, this didn't appear? No. He says, where is Michael Taylor? I'm not sure. I hope everything is going okay with Michael Taylor. I think he had some kind of a health situation going on at one point, but he hasn't been around in a while that I've seen. So hopefully, if anybody knows, has an update on Michael, please share it with us because he was a fixture here in the Peanut Gallery, and we miss him. So we'd love to see him back. And Scotty says, wow, I didn't. Still no lines. Scotty says, let me use a different line. I use the equivalent line. Okay. All right, there we go. We got the line right there. Cool beans. All right, Scotty, you're on it now. Thank you so much. So let's show some more. Let's see. I'll show some DC. I got a small stack of DC, but then I got some other stuff here that's kind of oddball things to show that I love those things. I love all this stuff. Who am I kidding, right? All right, we can start off. I got this. I found this Superman, $145, still 10 cents. The Interplanetary Circus. I don't usually show a whole lot of Superman because I don't really think I have a whole lot of Superman in my collection. Oh, these are war comics. All-American Men of War, number 97, featuring the Navajo ace, Johnny Cloud. So here is number 103. And you could still pick these up. When I was buying these, you could still pick them up at pretty good prices if they were something you were looking for. Here is number 103. No, 105. What was this one? 103. Okay. Here's 105. We're going all over the spectrum today. We got 106. And here's 111. Like a triptych cover. Triple battle. Triple battle skies. Boom. All right. Then in this one here, they're introducing a new character, the World War I ace who broke all the rules. Lieutenant Steve Savage, the Balloon Buster. And this is issue number 112. I do not know if he's related to Randy Savage. And here is another 112. Same. Yeah, it is the same cover. It didn't look like the same cover for me. So there's another one. And then we got number 113, the Balloon Buster. Cool. Number 114. The ace who died twice. Here we go. Some of the go-go checks. We got 115. Killer ace handled with care. Got the go-go checks right there. And here's some more go-go checks. Number 116. Whenever I see them go-go checks, I've told you guys before, you know my love for go-go checks. It's like a homecoming. Every time I see them go-go checks, it just gives you a warm fuzzy inside, just a big old comfort zone, big old fuzzy blanket. This is number 117. I believe this is I think this might be the last issue of this run. But they did bring it back. And let's see. Speaking of bringing it back, this is Men of War, and this was from the Bronze Age. And we got this is number 9, and it's got number nine. It's got Gravedigger in it, but it also has one of my favorite war characters, Enemy Ace, and I'm trying to get all the Enemy Ace appearances. Just love that character. Different perspective on the way things were. And here is number 10 of Men of War. All righty. That's that group there. So, I got some odds and ends stuff right here. I've shown them before, but I never get tired of looking at them. So these are multi-packs from the 70s. This is DC Comics Super Pack A-6 with 3 big current issues. 3 comics for 59 cents. And this one here is Superman 265 on this side. And on the other side is issue number 106 of Justice League of America. Great cover. Look at that. The Red Tornado in his old uniform. I love the roll call, floating heads on the side. I just love that. Now, the middle one, let's see if I can find out what the middle one is. It is Secret Origins, and I'm not sure, but I think it might be issue number 2 or 3. It's the one with Wonder Woman and Wildcat. So if somebody needs to know You can look that up. Oh, no, it's number 3. I got it. Just barely. I don't want to do it too much here. But it's number 3. It's issue number 3 of Secret Origins is the middle book. And then we got a Marvel multi-mag. This is only 2 comics for 79 cents. And we've got Marvel superheroes featuring the Incredible Hulk, which were Incredible Hulk reprints. This is number 84. So, and then the other book in this one is number 9 of Shogun Warriors. This is probably only the second issue of Shogun Warriors I have. I think the Avengers of the Fantastic Four appeared in an issue, and I have that because if a group or superheroes appeared in another book, even though I didn't collect the book, I would pick up that book just because I wanted to see the superhero guest stars. All right, here's another one. This is Superman, a Whitman product, distributed by Western Publishing Company, Incorporated. And this is 2 books for 99 cents. And I don't know if I can see the number. I can't see the number. And I can't see the number on this back issue. Anyway, this one on this side is, I believe, Action Comics. So you might recognize it. But it's Superman with the top of the Daily Planet, the big planet, look like Saturn symbol there, whatever, was on fire and coming down. So the other one is going to be a little easier because it's either the first or second issue of DC Comics Presents, which was the Superman equivalent of Brave and the Bold. So this was either the first or second issue where he teamed with the Flash. So there's that one. And here is a Harvey Comics pack. 2 comics for 49 cents. We've got Hot Stuff, number 124, 25 center. Is that a square bound? Nope, it's not square bound, but kind of looked like one for a second. So we got Hot Stuff. We got all the regular gang there. Stumbo. I can't read them. So, and then the other one is number 141 of Spooky, the tough little ghost. I'm sure Captain Strangelove would like those. He's probably got this exact thing in his world of stuff. He has got so much great stuff. So there we go. So there's a Harvey one. And here we go. We got another Marvel one. This is 3 comics for 74 cents. And we start on this side with number 54 of Conan the Barbarian. That looks like a Gil Kane cover there. So, Marvel Multimags. And this side is Avengers 139. And what is the middle book? The middle book is Jungle Action number 17, which I think is part of the Panther's Rage storyline, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like a yellow cover with a dinosaur on it, I can see. So pretty cool. And Shannon was the one who got me interested in these. Up until I saw his video with these, I'd never thought of multi-packs being around today, let alone collecting them, you know. And he showed me a couple. I'm like, oh, that is just so cool, because it brought back a flood of memories again, of seeing these at the grocery store and stuff, you know. So he got me hooked on these things. So now they're kind of expensive. If you go on eBay and look, they're getting kind of pricey. But I was able to pick up a few of them to have in the collection. And I'm just so happy to have them, and I'm so happy that Shannon got me involved in them. So this is Superboy number 194. Superboy. Okay. And on the other side, we got the man, Barry Allen, the one and only Flash of Earth 1. Or should be. And the middle book, let's see. What is going to be the middle book? The middle book is Johnny Thunder, which was a reprint book. I think they only went for like 4 issues, 3 or 4 issues. And it's Johnny Thunder, and I don't think I can get. Yeah, I can't see it. So it's Johnny Thunder. It's the blue logo headdress there with the yellow lettering. Battle war something. But anyway, so there we go. I mean, they were just unique. I would not have guessed that there were many of these still around. Another one who has a good variety of these, if not all of them, I think he might have all of them, is Alan of AFTA Comics, AFTA Comics. If you ever get a chance and you have not checked out his channel, he hasn't done any videos in quite a while. I think it's because of a work schedule. He works a lot, and I believe he works in radio. But if you go check out AFTA Comics, and you see some of he has a museum quality collection and display. It is phenomenal, and he has, I think he has all of these, because you can go by see the little, whoops, over here, right here, where it says C4. There's actually a website you can go to and look it up. I've only been there a couple of times, so I can't give you the name of it or anything like that. But you could just type in, DC comic packs or multi-packs, and I'm sure you can get to it. But it would tell you like C1, what was in C1, what was in C2, C3, C4, So it's pretty cool. It's just, but if you get a chance, again, you can definitely go to Shannon's channel and look up. He's got a video where he shows these, and After Comics as well. Alan and his collection. He's got like the Marvel T-shirts and stuff from the '60s, Marvel Mania, Marvel memorabilia and stuff like that from the '60s. It's just fascinating, and I kind of had withdrawals there for a while, where he wasn't making any videos and anything, because his collection is just, like I said, it's museum quality. I mean, it really, really is. I got just a few more things, and then we'll check out the Peanut Gallery, what's going on again. Here is Eerie Comics. Just started up recently. Spelled a little differently than the old Warren Mags, but this is issue number 1. And I think this is an homage cover because it looks awful familiar. So, and it's black and white. If you haven't seen any of these. So But they're good, really good. The artwork's pretty good, and the stories are pretty good. Here we go with a Tales from the Crypt facsimile. This is not the real thing. I could never afford the real thing. That's for sure. And then we got, let's see, another modern magazine, Shutter. This is number 17. Again, very similar to the Eerie thing, where it's black and white, reminiscent of the horror mags by Warren in the 70s, late 60s. So just fun stuff to read. So alrighty, and I got Marvel Super Action. I'm looking for a number, but I don't see a number on it, so I don't know if this was a one shot. But it's America's greatest crime destroyer, the Punisher. This was one of those books that I'd always see advertised everywhere, and I never saw it actually being sold. So I finally got a copy, only 40 years later. So, and the last thing I got on this group is I don't know if you remember the invasion that DC did, especially Invasion Edition of the Daily Planet, Earth to Invaders. Drop dead. And it is a facsimile of a newspaper type of thing. That was a nice little promo thing that they put out during the invasion. So it's pretty cool. I know I've got two of these. One is still in the original packaging, and this one here is the one I took out, and I keep it in a little plastic folder here. So, all right, there we go. As another group. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And let's see. Thank you so much, Scotty, for providing that line. Appreciate it. Werewolf says, perfect. Yes, sir. You did a perfect job. Thank you, Scotty. Scotty says, oh, that went. I had to change from top chat to live chat to see or not see. He says, I used the equal sign, but I guess it got filtered out. Yeah, we didn't see the equal sign anywhere. Scotty says, my timer just went off, so between then, I thought I put a line until then, 15 minutes. Cool beans. And Werewolf by Lunchtime says that Superman 145 looks just like it came off the stand. Lovely, bright colors. Yeah, I mean, really, you would think that these books in the multi-mag things would be, they're going to be all butched up and scared. But they're not. If you look at them, they are really, really in great shape. So I don't know if the inside of the plastic bag is softer or what, but yeah, absolutely. And Triple P, he says, all these war comics are so underrated and underappreciated. Yes, sir, I agree. You do not see too much by way of DC's war comics really getting any love. I don't know. Do they even do any war comics today? Maybe a Sergeant Rock one. Maybe. I don't know. So, but I'd love to see. I always liked the Losers, which was all the other, all the. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. All the orphans from other different comic series that DC had were all kind of put together. So I like those, and they had some great covers to those too, by the way. I think Kubert did some, but I also know there were some others that were done, I think even by Neil Adams, that were really, really good. Some of them, Gil Kane, They were real good, if I'm not mistaken. Scotty says, I just read a Balloon Buster story the other day where he took a child to a German doctor to get help he needed, even though the Germans were our enemy. But for a child, they called a truce. Cool beans. Cool beans. And, whoops. And Triple P, Andrew, he says, AA men, All-American Men at War, number 114, must be hard to find in high grade with that all-black cover. Yeah, I would imagine it would be. You're right, because usually those all-black covers, they'll show any kind of color-breaking spine tick or crease. They show up really easily on those, so I would agree with you, sir. Scotty says, it made my heart warm to think that humans could put aside war issues for those to help those in need. Yes, as it should. One of our favorite movies to watch at Christmas time is called, I believe it's called Silent Night. And it's about the truce on Christmas Eve and Christmas during World War II. And the story centers around a German lady and her son, I believe, living out in the wilderness. And a couple of American soldiers happen upon her. And then a couple of German soldiers happen upon her place. And of course, there's tensions and all that stuff. But they manage to work through it, And it actually really, really is a very, very touching movie. So I believe it's called Silent Night. But yeah, it's on our Christmas season rotation, movie watching rotation list. So I highly recommend it. And Triple P says, I know you love the Go-Go Checks covers. How long did they do that trade dress for? It lasted, I want to say, no more than 2 years, I believe, because it started at the end of, 66, I think, and then went through 67 and into early 68. If memory serves me correct, it was like 539 or 537. I always get it confused. It's either 537 or 539 books that had the go-go checks on them. And like I said, it most of them you can get no problem, but some of the Batman ones, detective ones, like the first Batgirl and stuff like that, I don't see those as ever being in my collection, and I'm fine with that. I just as soon would have the facsimile as a placeholder for it. So Scotty says multipass like Lilu had in The Fifth Element. Multi-packs. Whoa. I have that JLA Justice League with the red purple tornado back when I was a kid. Yeah. That was his first costume. Yes, sir. And Scotty says, I've never seen 2 comics in a pack. It was always 3. And you had to fight with it to see the middle issue. Yes. Yep. Some of them later on, I guess they only did 2 in some. So, and Scotty says, Shogun Warriors were one of my faves. There you go. Must have brought back a few memories for you. He says, I'll pay you 79 cents for that 2-pack. I think I'm going to hold out for a little bit more. And Triple P says, I love the Fifth Element. Me, Fifth Element, Supreme Being. Me, protect you. Corbin, sarcastic self-description. I am a meat popsicle. Oh. And Scotty says, that movie is epic. I would watch it over and over. Scotty says, Ruby Rod's drama versus Corbin Dallas being not is such a funny contrast. I'm totally lost on that. So, and this guy says, Whirlwind. Yes, the Whirlwind was on that cover. You are correct, sir. The Avengers, 139. I don't know why, but I loved Whirlwind. He looked like a bullet with man with head and cat ears. You looked like a bullet man with cat ears. There we go. And Henry says, I like Enemy Ace as well. Some of my favorite Joe Kubert stuff that he drew. I agree with you, Henry. Yes. I mean, I don't think Kubert ever drew a bad panel. I really don't. His stuff, and I did not appreciate it early on as a kid and as a fledgling blossoming collector. I did not give him the respect because I always thought it was his drawings were kind of sketchy looking, But I have since come to respect him in the 80s, and then got to read the Enemy Ace stuff, and I really got into that character. And it just made me appreciate Kubert's art so much more. And I just love to see he was the master of perspective on those war comics. It just great stuff. Tremendous artist. Unfortunately, Shannon's not here to he would definitely second that opinion, but he's got much more of a working knowledge of Kubert and his works than I do. So you'll have to hit up Shannon when he comes back, and he could definitely throw out some nice stuff, facts for you. So Triple P says Jungle Action 17 is the death of Eric Killmonger. So is that like a major key issue? Because all I remember is I know the Panthers Rage storyline was a big to do back in the day, but I was not collecting Jungle Action back in the day. So I have no idea. Is that like a major issue type of thing? I do not know. And Triple P says C4 dynamite. Yeah. I thought of that when I was saying that. The C4, I'm like, that sounds like it could be pretty explosive. And he says, yeah, there you go. Yeah, C4. And C4 is pretty explosive. Very right. Very cool. Yes. Great minds, right? Or you should be very afraid that you're thinking like me. Scotty says, speaking of facsimiles, are they going to do more amalgam facsimiles? I saw the Spider-Boy one on Thursday when I went. I bought my Fantastic Four facsimiles and the VR Trooper #2 facsimile. Even bought a written this year, new comic book. The VR Troopers #1. Freaking $10, he says. But I left behind #2 and #3 until I know either I like it or I hate it. I know I'm with you on the prices nowadays. That's why it's hard. I don't buy a whole lot of new modern comics. I pick up the Hanna-Barbera superhero stuff that's been coming out with Space Ghost, the Herculoids, Johnny Quest. And now I think they're doing a Dynamite, Blue Falcon and Dynamite. So I'll pick those up. I'll throw my money at them for that. I pick up my Hulk, and once in a while I'll pick up the Avengers, and I pick up Justice League when I can. So that's really it for my new stuff, because I can't see paying some of the money they want for the new issues when I can take that money and I can buy myself some bronze. I mean, there's quite a lot of bronze at my local comic store. That's priced at $5 or less. So until that runs out for me, that's where I put the majority of my money when I go to the comic store, is to Bronze Age now. And once in a while, you can pick up some really good silver stuff for $5 and below too. Scotty says the Player's Choice comics are still out in the car. If it ever stops raining, I'll get them and do a live video today for that load. Cool beans. Hope to see it later. And Henry says, don't forget Lost in Space episode War of the Robots, black and white. I will check that out, Henry. In fact, I'm going to write it right down on my, well, I was going to write it down. Where'd my pad go? Where did my pad go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yes, sir. Write it right down. Lost in Space. War of the Robots. Cool beans. Thank you, Henry, again for that. I'm going to go check and see if it's among the seasons that I have for Lost in Space. I hope it is, because I'd love to see that. So thank you again. And Scotty says, in North Myrtle Beach, if you go there, there are 2 places to check out. Player's Choice in the mall, new and old comics, video games, etc. And Super Deals discount store for only old comics at $1.99 each. Hey, old comics at $1.99 a piece? Yeah, I'd be visiting that quite a bit. Holy cow. Hey, it's Gratu. How you doing, Gratu? He says, hello, and hello to you, sir. Hope all is going well. Digging the music that you're playing. If you haven't seen his radio show that he's doing, it's great. It's great. A lot of the songs that he's creating are incredible. So definitely get over there and check out Gratu, the Gratu Orloff show. I know he just posted one, I think yesterday or might have been Thursday. I think it was Thursday night he posted one. So very cool. Very cool. Great to have you with us, Gratu. Thank you so much, man. And I always want to say planners. I always want to start off saying planners when I see your thing. Andrew, I drive myself crazy sometimes. Plants, printed periodicals, Triple P. He says the last Sergeant Rock mini was done by Bruce Campbell. Really? Okay, of Evil Dead fame. And he wrote it in a zombie Nazi story. It was a good story. I was not aware of that. Sergeant Rock fighting zombies? I know they did it in a cartoon form, I believe, at one point. They did like, a mini cartoon with the creature, commandos, and Sergeant Rock, I believe. I got the hiccups now. Okay. And Andrew says, greetings, Gratu. I have to go check on my mom. She has surgery yesterday. I'll talk with you all next week. Well, here's hoping everything went well for your mom. Hope she recovers well and quickly. So send her our best. Thank you, Andrew, for stopping by, man. And Scotty says, I butchered that. I was trying to say that the contrast between Ruby Rod and Corbin Dallas was hilarious. I do not know either one of those characters. Unless you're calling me Ruby Rod for the red hat. And Easy Comic Reading, he says, Crown Jewel update. Holy Toledo Rod. Jim Barnett has grounded all flights out of Perth and demands his 10% cut of the gate. Oh, well, that Burnett guy, man, he was always about the money. You know, if Vince paid him more, he went with Vince and sold him his share. And then we had Black Saturday. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, love it, Easy. Oh, bring it back. I love the wrestling bulletins. There we go. The wrestling bulletins. Dun, 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 dun. Scotty says, Lost in Space, Season 1, Episode 20, War of the Robots, is on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Okay. Because I don't think I have I might have season 1, but I want to say I have season 3 and maybe 2. Okay, so it's on, let's see, season 1, episode 20 on YouTube. Cool beans. Thank you so much, Scotty. Appreciate that. That'll be on my viewing schedule for this weekend. Hey, Psychotronics, quick, go, Aaron. How you doing, man? He says, hello, Rod and everyone. Hope you're doing well, Aaron. I'm sorry I didn't get back to your voice message you left me. I've been under the weather for the last couple of days. So I have not, I've been derelict in my duties in getting back to people, unfortunately. So, but hopefully we're on the other side of it. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Great to see you, Aaron. Cool beans. And Garatu says, I have a new radio show uploading right now that features alternate versions of the Space Ghost theme. Oh, cool. Well, you know I'm going to be checking that out because anything Space Ghost, I'm there. Anything Space Ghost, I'm there. So I will definitely be checking that out. Cool beans. Awesome. Thank you for that, Gratu. Appreciate that. And if you get a chance, like I said, check out his radio show. It reminds you of the old style DJ days back in like the 60s and 70s and stuff. I love it. I love it. And Eric K, how you doing, Eric? He says, hey, everyone, I will watch this on the rewind. All right, sir. Hope all is well. Take care. And when we see you on the rewind, when you get to this point, I'll go, hi, Eric, how you doing? All right, Scotty says, Ruby Rod is Chris Tucker in Fifth Dimension. And Corbin Dallas is Bruce Willis in the same movie. Okay, Bruce Willis, I recognized Bruce Willis. I wouldn't have recognized the character names. Chris Tucker, I do not know that actor. At least I don't think I do. I might have seen him in something. I do not know. This guy says, I got all 4 seasons of Lost in Space in one plastic box, about $40 at Walmart a few years ago. Yeah, I wanted to get all of them at the time, but they were expensive at the time. So I didn't. So I opted to get that one with the season with that episode that I talked about earlier. The not the elimination scene. Gee, I can't, man, I'm telling you, my brain, it just up and shuts off sometimes. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, where it's the opposite. Negative, with the negative planet or whatever, So, and Psychotronics Squirt Gun, Aaron, he says, glad you're feeling better, Rod. Well, thank you. Aaron, I appreciate that, my friend. Hope all is, I know you've been real busy. Hopefully you get a break from it and get to enjoy some of your weekend, my friend. And I am one of us says, hi, Aaron. He's giving the wave. And under the Kyle of MS, hey, how you doing, sir? Great to have you with us. And hello, everyone, he says, been listening while doing errands. Those mystery packs usually sell for more than the individual comics, even the newer packs in the 90s. Yeah, they're getting quite expensive. The ones I bought were probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, I would say, $50 to $75. But I looked at them. I look at them periodically. I go, because I get like 80. Yeah, I get like 80 daily notifications from eBay on books that I'm looking for. And one of them is a multi-bags. And so when I see one pop up, I'll go and I'll look at it. And now they're upwards of like 150. And some I've even seen reach the $200 mark. So, but yeah, I agree. Scotty says, dang, the line didn't work again. Oh, there he goes. He got the line down for us. All right, cool beans. All right, that means it's time for some more comics. It's almost noontime. What do I got to show you? Let's see. What's this stack here? Okay, that's a bunch of more oddball stuff. I'm going to show some of my favorite type of stuff, which is square bounds. Square bounds, as Higgy Pop calls them, thickies. Yeah, baby, thickies. So, all right, we're going to start off with a series that was called Fantasy Masterpieces. They started out being a reprint series that reprinted a lot of pre-superhero monster stories and stuff like that. So here is Fantasy Masterpieces #1, and it's got the stuff by Jack Kirby, Steve. They write Stevie Ditko on here. Jovial Joey Sinnott, Darling Dick Ayers, Dashing Don Heck, Sturdy Stevie Ditko, and Jolly Jack Kirby. So here's issue #1 of Fantasy Masterpieces, with all kinds of great horror stories in there. And here we go with #2, and it's got the story Jack Kirby's Fin Fang Foom. Yeah. Who doesn't want to see the origin of Fin Fang Foom? And then with issue #3, they became thickies. And they became square bound books, and I just love them. They're just a special place in my heart and in my collection for thick books like that, the square bound books like that, because when you got those as a kid, they didn't come out all the time. So when you got, or you couldn't afford them all the time either. But because they're 25 cents. Well, for 25 cents now, at the time, I could have got 2 12-cent comics and penny candy. And penny candy, that was back in the day when penny candy meant more than one piece of candy for a penny. You could get like 3 pieces of candy for a penny, like 3 little Tootsie Rolls or something, So that was a hard choice. Do I want to spend it all on one book, or do I want to come home with 2 books and some sweetness? Well, here is issue #3, and we've got Captain America front and center. So they started reprinting some Captain America stories. And here is #4, a gallery of all-time greats. And then they got some also in this, they got some more horror stories, or monster stories, I should say. But these are fun reads. I don't think they'll break the bank for you. Maybe the first issue would, but even then, I don't think it's extremely pricey. But all the rest of them, you could probably get them for a decent price. Here is #5. It's got Captain America. We got the Dragon of Doom. All kinds of the things from Dimension X. Just a cavalcade of comics coolness right there. I mean, you can sit down, and there's an afternoon for you when you're a kid. Sit under the apple tree in the summertime. Man, that's what I used to do. Either sit in the swing set out back, the blue swing set we used to have, or sit under the apple tree in the side yard. And this is Captain America and the Red Skull, issue #6. They're still square-bound beauties. Just so fun, man. The nostalgia for these type of books, man, It overflows in this vessel of mine. Here we go with number 7. This is a really neat cover. Looks like a Gil Kane cover. We got the Human Torch. We got the original Submariner. And we've got Captain America. Look at that. The beginnings of the invaders. Just fun stuff. And again, like I said, these will not, make you cry when you open your wallet. Here's number 8 with the Submariner and the original Human Torch and Captain America. Another great cover. For those of you who can remember, the Marvel movie Captain America, the First Avenger, when he goes to the World's Fair, and if you caught the little Easter egg there with Professor Horton's synthetic man, and it's kind of like a tube type of thing. This right here, this is what it reminds me of. When I saw that, my brain went right back to this cover right here. Here is Fantasy Masterpieces number 9, The Origin of the Human Torch. I mean, I was marking out like a little kid when I saw that. Oh, the synthetic man, that's a Human Torch. Yes. Very cool. Here we go with number 10, reprinting an all-winter squad story with the Wizard, Miss Liberty. We got the Human Torch, Captain America, and Submariner. What does this say? Now, we ask you, is this any way to run a magazine? You bet it is. It says down here. I loved little things like that Marvel used to put inside and on the covers. Little things like that. That's just funny. Just love that stuff. Here's number 11. We got The Origin of Toro, the sidekick to the Human Torch. And we got Captain America and the Submariner. Excuse me. Also got a story about the origin of the Black Knight. So, I mean, you could just find out the history of these characters. Just tremendous. That's a great cover, too. Square-bound sweetness. Man, oh man. Okay. And then they had an annual, I think it was king-size special, they said. 1966, Marvel Superheroes, number 1. More pages. More thrills. Just great stuff. Okay, then we started with some new features. Number 12. I'm sure all you longtime comic book collectors, you know what is important about this book. Marvel Superheroes featuring Captain Marvel. This is the first appearance of Captain Marvel. Still square bound, still 25 cents, man. And here is his second appearance in number 13, where stalks the Sentry. And this one here, man, this is hard. I don't know. Every issue that I find of this, because I'm looking for a better copy than mine. My copy isn't bad, but on the cover, it looks like there might have been moisture there, and a comic book was laid on top of it, and so the back page, some of the ink come off the back page onto this one. But I've seen it every time I look for this book and I find it, it always has something like that on the cover. I have yet to find a clean cover copy of this. And this is number 15, and it's featuring the magnificent Medusa of the Inhumans. And you can see over here is like that red ink up and down it. But it's one of those things that's like always on the back burner because I've got a copy. My copy is nice with the exception of that piece there. So it's not like a crucial thing that I'm out there hunting night and day for, But each time that I come across one, it seems to have some kind of color defect in the cover. So here's number 16 of Marvel Superheroes, presenting the pulse-pounding Phantom Eagle. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe their answer to Enemy Ace? I don't know. All right. And we got issue number 17 featuring the Black Knight. And I love this cover. This would be a great poster right here. The Black Knight. Look at that. That is very cool. And number 18, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians that I remember. Not the ones from the movie. Although I think they didn't they make like a guest appearance somewhere in one of the movies or something? Anyway, we got Vance Astro, we got Charlie 27, we got Martin X, and we got Yondu. So there we go. 2 more, and then we'll check back in with the peanut gallery. Hold on here. Okay, there we go. All right, we got 19. That's presenting Kazar. Still 25 cents, man. Still square bound. And this one here, we got duplicates, that duplicate syndrome. Duplicate copy syndrome that I suffer from. And to round this out, we've got number 20. I just like this cover. And it was so unique for the time because it's a villain. And since when did a villain get his own story and, spotlight, So here is Marvel Superheroes number 20 featuring Dr. Doom. He might catch on as a villain. I don't know. So anyway, there we go. This is the first 20. The first 20 issues of Marvel Superheroes or / fantasy masterpieces. So, and I got the rest of the stack right there. So if we don't get to them this week, they'll be there for next week. All right, we're back at the line right there. Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate it so much. And Aaron says, hey to Frank. And I Am One of Us says, it's working. Scotty says, weird. I don't know why the line is caught by the filter. I do not know. And Psychotronic Squirt Gun Aaron says, I subbed you up. He's talking to Gratu. Cool beans. Cool beans. And Scotty says, yeah, I had it a few messages earlier where is TJ, the Jackson Roykirk, when you actually need him, he says. I'm sure Jackson is very busy right now. Otherwise, I'm sure he would be here. Scotty says, I thought Thickies was an Aaronism. That could be. It could be. Scotty says, that was the first place I heard it. Now I say it all the time. Well, there you go. And Psychotronics Gun Aaron, he says, I read that Fing Dang Doom story. Fun stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Crazy Hungarian Joe. How you doing, Joe? He says, morning all, and good morning to you, sir. Hope all is going well. Thanks for joining us today. Just showing some comics. And Scotty says, gross. My cat just rubbed against me, and he's soaking wet. Tom Tom actually will play in the rain. He never heard that cats don't like water. That's it. Send him back to feline class. Come on. I'm going to teach you how to be a cat. I am one of us says, hi, Joe. Werewolf by lunchtime. He said, hey, Joe. Scotty says, are y'all singing that Jimi Hendrix song? Hey, Joe, I'm not sure. I don't know. I know not of what Hendrix song you speak of, sir. Werewolf by lunchtime says, what are you doing with that comic in your hand? That's it. Put it back. Put it back. Crazy Hungarian says, morning, I am one of us. Crazy Hungarian also says, hello to Werewolf. And he says, gonna find my old lady. Okay, well, I hope she's not too lost. Oh, and Henry says, Human Torch in a test tube. Yeah, great cover. I like it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said, when I saw that movie and I saw that scene, it was just like, whoa, yeah. I was like a kid in a candy store. I know what that is. I know what that is. You know, in the grand scheme of things, it don't mean anything in life. But doggone it, I was so happy with myself. Crazy Hungarian says, need to find me some of those fantasy masterpieces books. You can find them, and I don't think they'll break the bank for you, Joe. You can find. I'm sure if you don't find them in any of your local comic stores, certainly eBay has them, and you'll be able to get them on there. And most of the time, you might even be able to get 2 or 3 like in a bundle. They sell. Some people will sell them in a bundle. So, but definitely, they're not hard to get, and they're not expensive to get. Maybe the first issue, the number 1 issue, might be more, but I don't even. It's not like it's Batman money or something like that. Scotty says, was Toro a robot too? I don't think Toro was a robot. I'm trying to remember any Toro stories that I can recall in my brain. I can't remember, to be honest with you, Scotty. Werewolf by Lunchtime says the original Torch was a robot. Yeah, that was it was part of the history of the Vision, the superhero, the Vision. They used the actual synthetic body of the original Human Torch with which to house the whatever AI that is the Vision. Scotty says, right, and his sidekick, was he? I do not know. I don't remember. I believe that is correct. Don't quote me. Yeah, I can't remember. Henry says, I like Gene Colan's art. Sometimes it was wonky, but he had a unique style. The only guy that drew like him was Adam Austin. Gene Colan's art always struck me as, I guess it always reminded me, he did so much Daredevil. And they're always kind of like swooping, like you swoosh, type of movement. You know what I mean? It was always super. And he always had the like his feet would be closer to the camera, so they'd be larger. Like Kirby used to do with his fists or the pointing finger or whatever, would make it in the foreground type of thing. So, yeah, he had a unique style. He was another one that I did not appreciate growing up as a kid. I was I just wanted a straightforward figure. When I saw Neil Adams stuff, that changed everything for me because I wanted every superhero comic book I picked up drawn by Neil Adams because I wanted to see the Hulk drawn by Neil Adams. I wanted to see Cap and them, the Avengers, which I did get to see eventually with some great stories. But Gene Colan, when I think of Gene Colan, it takes me to Daredevil. And Daredevil had some, I guess you might call them wonky covers, but overall, I've come to really appreciate his artwork. Kind of like Carmine Infantino too, because Carmine Infantino used to draw people always on the side. They always looked like they were coming at you on the side, and they were like a paper thin person, and it was on its side, So, what do I know? What do I know? Scotty says, I learned last week that Dr. Doom has a relative that is also Dr. Doom, but he's a dentist. No, Herbie's the dentist. I always wanted to be a dentist. You get extra no points if you know where that reference comes from. I'm not aware of his brother being a dentist. So, but if he is a dentist, he probably loves to look at his clock at tooth hurdy. Tooth hurdy. I'll leave right now. Henry says, take care, all. Henry, thank you so much for spending your Saturday here, man. Greatly appreciate it. Hope we see you again next week. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend and a great week to follow. I am one of us says, nice collection of 20 Marvel superheroes. Thank you so much. I am one of us. I appreciate that. I like I said, I do have another stack of them ready to go. Probably get to them next week because it's already 12:15. So next week I'll have the rest of the stack out here. We can look through those. Eventually it turns into reprints of Tales to Astonish with the Hulk and Submariner stories, and then it goes right on up through to 100 something. So and I don't have all of the Hulk reprint issues. I know you'd find that hard to believe, me being the Hulkophile that I am, but I just love those early, thick, square-bound books, man. And it doesn't matter if they're Marvel, doesn't matter if they're DC. I love those. The DC Giants, the 80-page Giants, great stuff. Great, just great stuff. So Scotty says, hey, Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand? Hey, Joe, I said, where you going with that gun in your hand? Oh, I'm going down to shoot my old lady. Oh, my God. Okay. I am not familiar with that song. Oh, my gosh. Nope. Okay. And Scotty says, I caught her messing around with another man. Yeah, I'm going down to shoot my old lady. I caught her messing around with another man. Huh? Ain't too cool. And Scotty says, hey, Joe, song written and composed by Billy Roberts. Hey, Joe is a song from the 60s that has become a rock standard and been performed in many musical styles by hundreds of different artists. I'm not aware of that. So I've been living under a rock. I've been living under a musical rock. Thank you for that, Scotty. Appreciate all that info. And Werewolf by Lunchtime says, it's Mrs. Werewolf's and mine 24th wedding anniversary today. All right. We give you the special bell treatment. All right. Well, happy anniversary to you and Mrs. Werewolf. I hope you guys get a chance to celebrate or had a chance to celebrate today. That's awesome. 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 Congratulations, man. Cool beans. You went out. Oh, he says we went out, ate, came home, and played with Rico. Then we put on CBM and chilled. She loves the show as much as I do. Well, thank you very much. And we really appreciate you spending your time with us, especially on your anniversary when you guys could be watching or doing anything else. Thank you so much, man, and happy anniversary to you guys. That's awesome. Congratulations. Cool beans. My wife and I just celebrated our 35th. No, 37th. Oh, if I said 35th and she caught me, I'd be in trouble. Woohoo. 37th anniversary on October 1st. I got married I picked the date October 1st. Why? Because I thought the first of a month would be a great, easy way to remember. So far, it's worked. Don't tell the missus. Scotty says, hey, I've only heard the Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix. It's not my favorite song for sure, but it's on the album and I've heard it enough. Okie dokie. Cool beans. I Am One of Us is now for 24 more, Werewolf. There you go. There you go. That's right. 24 more. Fingers crossed. There we go. And Werewolf says, hopefully I Am One of Us. Yes, sir. I'm sure. No problem for you. You guys will clear that hurdle, no problem. I just got a feeling. Just got a feel. So, well, all right. Let's see. Well, Scotty said something else here. He says the internet went out here again. I think the rain is washing the internet away. We are still on metal wires, not fiber optics yet. Really? Wow. Holy mackerel. Well, if you go outside to see, watch out for the dinosaurs, okay? Whew. Okay. Metal wires, that's wild. All right. Okay, well, that brings us to, it's about 12:18. So I think now is probably as good a time as any to call it a day. And I want to thank everybody that showed up in the peanut gallery today. Thank you all so much. Scotty says, my cats catch the dinosaurs. There you go. There you go. Dinosaur hunters. It's 12:18. Let's go eat lunch. I'm with you because I am hungry. So, all right. Well, thank you all very, very much again for spending your time here because you could be doing anything else you wanted to do. And we greatly appreciate you hanging out with us. You guys make this so much fun. And you guys made me have a blast today. Like I said, it started out under the weather, but you guys picked me up once again. Thank you so much. And again, please keep Shannon and his family and Maranya and her husband in your thoughts and prayers. And hopefully everything will come out the way we want it to come out, and they can get through this tough time. So thank you once again, everybody. And I Am One of Us says, thank you, Rod and Peanut Gallery. Thank you, I Am One of Us. Thank you very much for being here, man. Appreciate it. So, all right, that's going to do it. We'll be back next Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel. I like that. Have a groovy day. Yeah, have a groovy day. So, all right. So we will see you all again. Same bat time, same bat channel next week. So everybody take care.
Here's to the comic book community, the family of funny book pals, sharing their collections and memories with all the cool guys and gals. There's legends and new folks and everyone in between, bringing their styles of fun and laughs for every one of them to be seen. Let's hear it for the community and all its awesome family. For those who started it long ago, we couldn't have gotten here alone. For the new folks too who make us laugh with their cool videos they craft. So here's to the guys and gals we see who make it the coolest place to be. Every day there's more to view as they show the comics to me and you. They're wondrous comics, new and old. There's always a story behind what's shown. So feel the passion, the love, the fun. It's all here to enjoy for everyone. Such great tales and folks to see. So thank you, comic book community.